Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So over the past few years, the cost of living in Germany has significantly increased, and this has been a major concern for a lot of people who are living here in Germany and people who plan to move to Germany. Now, the cost of living in Germany varies from persons to persons, and it could be affected by your lifestyle, your location, and your status. So in today's video, I will be giving you a rough estimate of what to expect when it comes to the cost of living here in Germany. Now let's deal with the big elephant in the room, which is renting an accommodation in Germany. I had previously done a video about renting an accommodation in Germany. Please check it out. Now for renting accommodation in Germany, the location where the accommodation stays is like super important, and the size of the apartment as well affects how much you get to pay for the apartment. Now if you're renting accommodation in a small city or a mid-sized city, then you will not spend so much money. But if you're renting accommodation in like very big city like Munich, Hamburg, Berlin, Frankfurt, and like your apartment is in the city center, then just expect that you're going to spend more money. Now, for students who come into Germany, sometimes they get apartments like in a student dormitory or like in a shared apartment. So, in a small city or a mid-sized city, you could expect to spend something like 300 to 600 euro for a shared apartment in a small or a mid-sized city. Now for a bigger city, you should expect to spend more. So if you're planning to get like a one-bedroom apartment in a small city or like in a mid-sized city, you should be expecting to spend something around 6 to 800 euros per month. And cities like let's say Heidelberg, Mannheim and co, for a one-bedroom or a two-bedroom apartment, between 600 to 900 euros will get you something like that. But in the eastern part of Germany, it's actually quite cheaper. Like you would even get like a one-bedroom apartment for maybe like 200 euros or even 300 euros. For families, like if you're a family of 3 or 4, that's like father, mother, and a child, or father, mother, and 2 children. If you're looking for an apartment in a small city, you should expect to see apartments of 800 euros to 1,200 euros, and this is in small cities or mid-sized cities. But if you're looking for the same size of apartment in a bigger city like Munich, Hamburg, Berlin, you should expect to pay something between 1,500 euros to about 2,500 euros per month. But then if you're looking for that same size of apartment in maybe the eastern part of Germany or like in cities that are very small, then it will be way cheaper. It's not all the eastern part of Germany that is cheap, because Berlin is in the east and Berlin is definitely not cheap. Leipzig used to actually be cheap in the past, but right now the cost of living in Leipzig, like the cost of renting an apartment in Leipzig, is actually increasing. So it depends on the city, but on average, most cities in the eastern part of Germany is quite cheaper than majority of the cities in the southern or western part of Germany. Next point is utilities, and utilities include gas, that's your heating, water, electricity, internet, and garbage. So when you're looking for an apartment in Germany, you have the cold rent and the warm rent, and the cold rent is the basic rent, and the warm rent is like the cold rent plus utilities. So when you're looking for an apartment in Germany, the utilities have like a fixed price. Like every landlord has a fixed price of how much he wants you to pay for utilities. And this fixed price means that, okay, if you're, let's say for instance, you pay 100 euro for all these things that I mentioned. If you use, maybe you use water more than the amount you paid, and you use like heating more than the amount you paid, then at the end of the year you would reimburse the landlord more money. But if you use less of these things and the amount you paid like is more than what you used, then the landlord would reimburse you back what you paid. So for students or people who live in small apartments, let me just put it that way, you should expect to pay something between 100 to 200 euros for smaller apartments, and if it's like in a very big apartment or in a very big city, you should expect to pay somewhere between 200 to 400 euros per month for utilities. My next point is transportation. Now in Germany has like very good transportation system, even though sometimes their train is very unpredictable. Now in Germany we have trains, trams, buses, cars, and bicycle. Then there's something called the Deutschland ticket. Now this Deutschland ticket, you purchase it every month and it's 58 euro. You can use it to transport with the tram and also the train to go anywhere you want to go to within and around Germany, and it just costs 58 euros. Every month you subscribe again. Now it's also worth mentioning that when you're coming to Germany, try and invest in a bicycle because sometimes it's just very convenient, like especially if you're like a single person, invest in a bicycle. Because if you ask me, as a single person, except you're living in a place where like your work is so far from your house and you have to depend on Germany's train, which sometimes can be very unpredictable, I don't see any reason why you should invest in a car just yet, because of the expenses that comes with maintaining the car insurance, and just everything that has to do with it. But if like you're a family, then yes, it's worth investing. Prices you spend on groceries here in Germany differs based on lifestyle, and also I think location also has a way of affecting the prices of groceries. Because when I went to Bayern, the prices I saw in the supermarket for some of the things I get here, it was different. Okay, over there is more expensive than over here. So in Munich it's more expensive. So the prices of groceries you should expect for a single person here in Germany per month should be between 150 euro to 250 euro. That means every week you get to spend like about 50 to 60 euros on groceries as a single person. That is very reasonable considering the inflation and all of that. So but for a family the prices of groceries per month could range between 300 euros to about 500 euros, and that's like, I mean, it's reasonable, honestly. 300 to 500 euros per month is like, it's, that means you're actually doing a lot of budgeting and good management, money management. So when it comes to groceries in Germany, there are different stores where you could go for groceries: Penny, Kaufland, Edeka, and all of that. But it's advisable that you go to stores that sell cheaper things like Lidl, Penny, Netto, even Cap. You know, there's a supermarket called Cap in Germany. Funny enough, when I went there for shopping, like the prices I got things there, if I had got those stuff in Kaufland, I would have paid more. So yeah, you just check you check some of those supermarkets for things that are cheaper. So there are certain things I get from certain stores, and there are certain things I get from other stores. Like what I can't find here, I get it here, and like that, just a mixture of all of that. Now for we who are Africans, have to consider the amount of money you get to spend in the African store or Asian store. Now for me, I spend in African store just once a month, or maximum. So that's why it's like, you know, I didn't plan so much that month. I don't like to go there because the prices you spend in the African store is just so outrageously expensive. I try to supplement some things that I used to buy there before. I try to look for them because now the German supermarkets are trying to infuse some things, you know, that you could get in the African store in the, you know, German supermarket. So I buy as little thing as I can in the African store. You should be expecting to budget like, for a single person per month, maybe 200 euros. You know, now if you're a family, you should be expecting to spend something like between 200 to 300 euros just for the African store alone, like per month. Utilities sometimes will come with internet, and then sometimes it would not come with internet. So for internet here in Germany, I know like single people or students do not do like this very big internet plan. Okay, they might do like let's just say 20 euro plan that gives like, I don't know, maybe 20 gigabyte or something. You know, that's for students. But for we as a family, we have like a Vodafone internet plan. There's so many internet providers in Germany, and then sometimes how you get to know which one to go for is based off of, like, every apartment has what internet is most compatible with it. But aside from that, you could also use a different type if the one that is most compatible with the apartment is not within your budget range. So we use Vodafone, and for the first 13 months we are paying about 20 euro per month for the internet. But after the 13th month we will be paying about 44 euro 99. That's like 45 euro per month. So you can see internet is not that cheap. If you know anything about Germany, you know Germany is a country of tax. Now in Germany, the tax system is progressive. Like the higher you earn, is the higher you pay tax. And the tax system in Germany ranges from 19% to about 42% of your salary. So the more you're climbing the ladder, is the more you get to pay, tax. When it comes to health insurance here in Germany, the health insurance for students in Germany costs around 125 euro, between 125 euro to 140 euro. Now for employees, the health insurance you pay varies. It depends on how much you earn, how much is your income. You get to pay 14.6% of your income on health insurance. Now the health insurance, you pay 50% of that 14% 0.6, and then your employers pay half of that as well. So let's say you earn, for instance, about 4,000 euros in Germany, and you're paying maybe like 600 euro is what you're expected to pay. Your employer would pay about 300 euro, and then you will pay the remaining 300 euro. So health insurance in Germany varies based on your income and the type of health insurance plan or company you're using. There are so many health insurance providers in Germany, so depending on the provider you're using, it affects the amount of money you get to pay. Germany is a country filled with insurances. Like there is so much insurance you have to pay. Health insurance is like one of the compulsory insurance. Like every single person in Germany has health insurance. But then there are other types of insurances in Germany that includes your car insurance. It could range between about 200 euros to about 1,000 euros. If you've driven a car in Germany for 2 years without having an accident, the amount you pay for your insurance drops. But if you've had an accident, then the amount you pay for your insurance, it comes up. So then there is a different type of insurance called the liability insurance here in Germany. Now this liability insurance is nice for everybody to have it, but like for people who have families, it's extremely important that you have third-party liability insurance. Now it is called the Versicherung here in Germany, and this insurance is for like when you damage somebody else's property. Like maybe you hit somebody else's car, or your child spoils somebody's bicycle or somebody else's stuff. This half-leash insurance will be the one to pay and cover the cost for you. The amount you pay for this half-leash insurance is not even expensive. In a whole year, you could pay between 30 to 50 euro for the insurance for a whole year. It's necessary you need to have it if you're a family. For parents who are planning to come into Germany, when it comes to schooling, primary school here in Germany, that's elementary school, is actually free, but then you will spend on other things like school supplies and all of that. Then for kindergarten in Germany, it's not free. The amount you pay can range between 100 euro to about 400 euro, and this varies because of the location. Like your city, every city has their own kindergarten system. Some states you go to, or some cities, from the age of 3 or 4, the government pays for the kindergarten. Why there's some states you go to, the parents have to pay for it, all throughout till they finish kindergarten. Now for us, we pay for our daughter 154 euro every month, and my daughter spends about 6.5 hours in school every day, 5 days a week. But there are places you go to, it's even more expensive than that. For self-care and beauty here in Germany, can I put a price to it? I don't know, maybe like 100 to 150 euro. And that's if you're very frugal. I've never visited a hair salon here in Germany, or hairdresser, so I don't really know the prices, but I know it's not cheap. Okay, I know it is nowhere from 50 euro and below. It is from 50 euro and above. So I know it's not cheap. That's why I always advise that when you're coming into Germany as a woman, it's just nice to know how to make like basic simple hairstyle. It will save you a lot of money, millennials and every other thing, because there are so many other things that you could spend money on. Or every month you should just have like a budget of maybe for single people 80 euros per month, and then for married people between 100 euros to 150 euros per month. So in general, how is the cost of living in Germany? Do you think it's high? Do you think it's low? In the past, it used to be a little bit cheaper than it is now. I mean, I went for groceries yesterday and I spent 70 something euro on something that I would have gotten in the past for about 40 something euro. And I was looking at the list and I was like, what exactly did I even buy that I'm spending this amount of money? You know, so yeah, thank you for watching, guys. See you in my next video. Ciao.